I'm Jennifer Yu with the Women's Bar Organization. It was Sara's brainchild a couple of years ago to add legislators, female legislators, to this award ceremony, which has been great to get exposure to the women, especially now with government being so important, highlighting some of the women that are doing really great things in the community. So up until, I believe it was 2 years ago, we were only honoring women in legal careers, but then also decided to add that extra L and look at the legislators as well.
My name's Ashley Stead. I'm an associate attorney at McGann, Ketterman & Rue. The Women's Bar Association Political Action Committee is a committee that's been designed by the Women's Bar Association to advocate and advance legislative policies that benefit women predominantly, but also families and the people of Illinois. The PAC was restarted by the bar about 3 to 4 years ago. It had previously existed in a different iteration, but the women brought it back because there are so many important issues going on today in the world that impact women and families and the members of the Women's Bar Association that we felt it was important to have our voices heard at the table. Some of the legislative priorities that the PAC is pursuing predominantly include the Paid Family Medical Leave Act initiative. Right now, throughout the U.S., only about 27% of workers in the private sector actually have access to paid leave if they become sick or have to care for a loved one, and only about 40% of workers have access to disability leave. So a large segment of the population doesn't have access to any type of paid leave if they get sick or if they have to care for a loved one if they're sick. So it's really critical to support women and families that they have access to some type of paid family leave, which is why the PAC is really pushing for this initiative here in Illinois.
I'm State Senator Celina Villanueva, and I represent the 12th District, which is on the southwest side of the city of Chicago, and the near south side.
I met Senator Celina Villanueva when she first became a senator back in 2020, and I was working on the Senate legal staff. I nominated Senator Villanueva for this award because I've had the pleasure of watching her over the last several years really advocate and advance policies and legislation that help expand and protect reproductive rights, gender-affirming care, workers' rights, and immigration rights. And she's really been a great role model for women throughout the state.
I've been very proud of the work that I've been able to do in the legislature. I'm currently the co-chair of the Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus, and I'm very proud to get to work with the Latino caucus members, both in the House and in the Senate, to really make sure that, our communities are represented throughout state government and, making sure that we're fighting for them. But I'm also proud that I helped to co-found both the Progressive Caucus in the House and the Progressive Caucus in the Senate.
Before her time in the Senate, she served in the House of Representatives, where she pushed for social equity components of the state's cannabis laws and helped pass the Keep Illinois Families Together Act to prevent needless separation of immigrant families in Illinois.
But I think the stuff that I'm proudest of, because it's so relevant to this moment right now, has been all of the reproductive health care work that I've done. And I haven't done it by myself. It's been an incredible group of legislators that have really pushed together to make sure that we make Illinois a C in the middle of the Midwest, but also a huge portion of the state that has outlawed or has banned abortion access and other healthcare access, gender affirming care. And so I'm proud that I was able to work on and be the lead sponsor of the Patient and Provider Protection Act, because not only were we codifying what we thought based off of our values into law, but we were also protecting anybody that was coming from other states and also healthcare providers from being able to practice in the state of Illinois and not fearing that somebody was going to come and arrest them because they were enacting their right that they have as soon as they step on Illinois soil.
I admire Senator Celina Villanueva's tenacity in the face of adversity. She really does not back down from a challenge, and I think it truly speaks to her character and resilience that she is able to work across the aisle, work with other stakeholders to get tough issues tackled. And I think that she is a great leader and exemplifies what we want to see from women in government.
I want to thank Ashley Stead, who I know nominated me, and I want to give her the recognition that she deserves.
My name is Sara Feigenholtz. I'm the state senator from the 6th District.
My name is Megan Goldish. I am a judge here in the Circuit Court of Cook County, and I sit in the Domestic Violence Division. I am here to introduce Senator Sara Feigenholtz, who received the award for the Top Women in Legislature Award this year. She's been on the Illinois Senate since 2020, and prior to that, she served 13 terms in the Illinois House of Representatives. She represents most of the neighborhoods on the north side, from North Center all the way down to Bucktown.
I think a lot of what I've done when it comes to empowering women has been around healthcare and adoption. I was adopted, and around things that I feel were creating a more equitable world and providing people with access.
She is known for the person who created the first committee on adoption and child welfare in Illinois, and is an adoptee herself. Certainly, Senator Feigenholtz has a deep connection to that system. It was a system that was in dire need of reform, and I think it inspired her to champion numerous laws that are designed to protect children in Illinois.
It took me 14 years. But I did finally pass the birth certificate access bill in 2010. And I believe that Illinois was sort of a bellwether state, if you will. And after we passed it, many other states followed.
So we're honoring her not just for her tireless advocacy, but also for being the kind of person whose dedication makes our world a better place. And she is a truly, truly wonderful person whose efforts we deeply appreciate.
One of the things why it's a really big honor to get this award is because we don't function autonomously. And you know, I just want to thank the Women's Bar and all of the attorneys that come down to Springfield. And that Megan Goldish, who's funnier than I am, and I don't like that.
Initially, when we started this award, we just gave it to lawyers, and we've grown over the years to introduce legislators because we think it's important to, again, recognize those leaders in Springfield who are taking our initiatives that we are bringing to them and doing something with it. And the awardees tonight are two of the finest that are showing us that. It's important, especially in the political arena where it is very heavily male-dominated, to recognize the women leaders, and there are many. And so that is why we brought this in as part of the award, and why the Women's Bar thought it was important to recognize women legislators.